This podcast may contain adult themes and triggering topics. Please be kind to yourself if you get triggered by what we discuss.
Also, this isn't a substitute for therapy or counseling. Please listen to the appendix at the end for some of our recommendations for resources that will help you find a qualified mental health care provider.
Now, we take you to a time in the near future where emotional abuse has been appropriately deemed a crime, and the survivors find a home to reclaim their lives and freedom. This is Haven, and these are the stories of the reclaimers.
So that's common for abusers to pretend like they're the victim?
Well, they're not pretending. Many of them actually think that being held accountable is truly victimizing them.
I can see what an abuser would get out of playing the victim, for sure.
It's not just the old, they're just doing it for attention adage. In this case, it's part of a calculated smear campaign. Accusations are the one thing humans haven't mastered.
How so?
Well, if I accuse you right now of trying to eat my donut before the show started this morning, there's going to be a hearty round of laughter from your crew because they all know how much you despise donuts, right?
Julia, I love donuts.
Walked right into my trap.
So, if you accuse me of stealing donuts and people know I like donuts, they're going to be suspicious.
And suspicious is something we can't often resolve with public figures or with no proof. If there's no security footage on set and no way for you to clearly prove your innocence, there will always be a cloud of suspicion.
People, lock up your donuts. I might be a donut-stealing hack.
And see what you did there? This is a joke and a hypothetical, but your first inclination was to defend yourself.
Right.
Now, imagine that in an abusive context. Let's say a high-profile Senate inquiry where a senator is trying to accuse a doctor of being a manipulator.
This sounds vaguely familiar.
Maybe. But if that senator accuses that doctor in private, though, that doctor's likely to go find that senator to set the record straight, to defend herself.
Whoa. Okay, so the doctor just got in contact again.
And we've talked about how no contact is important to healing, and most abusers are trying to get in the way of healing. So they use accusations and suspicion to get their victims to try to defend themselves, which has a double use. The survivor won't ever be able to fully clear their name. There will always be suspicion of that survivor.
Even with proof of the survivor's innocence.
Sadly, some accusations supersede proof.
That's tough to believe. Like what?
Like, if that same senator accused that doctor of being manipulative, how would you definitely prove someone is not manipulating?
Oh, gotcha. I see. Oh, what does this have to do with playing the victim?
Playing the victim covers a multitude of odd behaviors from the abuser and also justifies the abuser continuing to get angry with the victim.
What sorts of behaviors?
Things like mounting an entire Senate inquiry to discuss something that rightfully should have been handled at the Haven?
Sounds like you disagree with the inquiry to begin with.
I've listened to the evidence surrounding KH. I've heard the accusations from Senator Daniels. I've tried to maintain an open mind.
But?
There's still nothing that concretely ties Dr. Colossi to actual predatory behavior. Everything presented thus far has been speculative at best.
Then why present it?
Think of the damage to Dr. Colossi's reputation.
You're worried about the hurt it will cause her.
Well, yes, because I know her and I know that will hurt her. However, I'm more worried about the next time Dr. Colossi tries to push through something with the Senate, or tries to increase funding for the Haven, or tries to get someone like Ben to see that the line of consent is vital to healing.
I see. She won't have as much leverage in the future.
All because a somewhat speculative, though suspiciously believable, grouping of information was tossed at her by a senator who is justifying his actions by playing the victim.
You believe Dr. Colossi is being persecuted here.
I believe that she's being silenced. And for a voice as ferocious as hers, it's total tragedy.
Is there anything that could happen that would change your mind?
If hard evidence came to light that Dr. Colossi victimized someone, I would listen. I would evaluate, and yes, I may even change my mind.
Well, thank you for your time, Julia. I always enjoy our chats. Come back soon.
I will.
After the break, we will hear from two of Dr. Colossi's classmates from her summer at Campbell.
Hey, it's Percy and Feeney here. What you've just heard is a work of fiction, but we know that many listeners are living in a world of pain that isn't fictional at all.
At the end of every episode, we're going to include an appendix of sorts. Some things we hope will serve those who live with a reality of fear and pain every day.
First, we want to let you know about our website, www.empowering.tools, where we keep an ongoing list of books, websites, hotlines, and many other resources for victims and survivors of toxic relationships.
Second, we love to hear from you. If you'd like to share your story with us or let us know how the episode impacted you, we'd love for you to reach out. These are deeply emotional things, and we want to give you a chance to share. We're a small team, so an in-depth response isn't always possible, but we do read every message we receive.
Third, if you're in crisis or you need to find an immediate way out, please call 800-799-7233 for the National Domestic Abuse Hotline. If your abuser is a parent or a non-romantic relationship, there are other resources we've listed on the website that are just for you.
A reminder, emotional violence is still violence. You don't need to have bruises on your body to deserve help, and it's okay to feel what you're feeling when you call.
Fourth, be safe. For some, getting out will take planning and time. If you know you need help, do what you need in order to safely get away.
Lastly, we know how difficult it can be to believe there's hope on the other side of a toxic relationship.
Many on our team know the devastatingly difficult steps it takes to get away from an abusive predator.
But there is hope. You don't have to do it alone. If you don't have supportive family or friends, you can still find support at the hotlines we mentioned earlier or at a local hospital or shelter.
Thousands of survivors have made it out. Getting out and reclaiming your freedom can be your story.
We believe in you.
We believe in your future.
And we believe in your right to that freedom.